Please don't hurt me. Ah, don't hurt me. Ah, 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 ah.
All right. I guess realistically I should probably have you guys this other way, right? So fun fact, my house is old, which means it's got scoliosis like me. Yeah, it's a nice little angle. So I gotta like try to adjust the gimbal on here so that it looks fake even. There you go, guys. Everything is authentic about my channel except for when things look level. That's not real. I am waiting for my husband to get back home because he took our daughter to physical therapy and I have to take her to another appointment. It is a beautiful day. We're finally getting warmer days here in New England, which I'm so happy for. Seasonal depression, am I right? Yeah, so I just wanted to come out here for a moment because it is so beautiful today. And this porch ends up really being my hideout when the days warm up and it's beautiful. Like I will legitimately lay right here like a cat and pass out. Oh God, I'm doing it again with the mic. So definitely looking forward to that. Also, I was working on this painting. It was all acrylic. I haven't painted in a really long time, especially with acrylic. Like I've painted with watercolor and everything, but not with acrylic in a really long time. And this was just like my first pass. I've briefly tested or played around with oils before, but not like I'm a complete noob. I don't know anything about oil painting. So I am picking up some new oil. Sorry, this is not what I need to be doing. Oh wow, is my nail broken? Well, that is a fun time. Squirrel. So I ordered some oils. I was looking for that. I ordered some oils and I'm excited because I think I had mentioned I was watching the Milan Art Institute competition, and again, novice to, I paint based off what I think, never professionally or anything like that. So a lot of them will do a layer of acrylic and then over top going with oils. I know that. So I'm wanting to do the same and see what happens. I think I still do have to go over this though with a little bit more acrylic, at least some watered down acrylic, and really get some of the stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Socks, they're in theory for mental health awareness, but they're also green. So like kidney disease, and that's my munchkin. I'm wearing sneakers today. I don't know why I needed to say that. So anyway, yeah, I gotta take my little munchkin. I was also really concerned because I thought she was gonna miss, balancing on a crooked porch. I thought she was gonna have to miss school again today. But turns out they didn't actually have school today because it was like a professional development day. So that's a win. She's unfortunately had to miss school. And balance. Don't balance. And balance. I can do it. She's had to miss school for a lot of different types of doctor's appointments and everything. And you know, the good thing is her school does offer like a makeup day on the weekends, which is wonderful, except during the cold months, it's not a viable option for us because we can't keep like exposing her to the cold weather and everything like that. She's gotten colds so much more this last year than she has probably in the last like 5 years. And that's from being in-person school. She did online school before that. I'm really excited to be out here. It's such a beautiful day. I'm also waiting for my husband to answer my question. Sir, I messaged you. Yeah. And then after her appointment, I'll be going into work. I'm just having to go in for the afternoon because the baby came first. She's not a baby. She's very much a preteen. But still, she's my baby. They're all my babies. Yeah. So nice. So nice out here. Do you want to know what I realized? Besides that my battery's dying. I have RBF all the time. Not on purpose. Not on purpose. But I truly can't help it. I'm constantly like this. I'm probably too far. Hey, you're on my shirt. I'm always like this. Like I'm in deep thought or really angry. And I have to like remind myself that that's happening when I have my makeup on, whenever that is. It creases there and I'll be at work like, oh, I'm always looking so angry. I'm not trying to be. I also got some oil sticks for the first time that I'm also really excited to use. I really am just excited to paint. It was something I fell in love with years ago. Oh my God, had to be like 15 years ago. I fell in love with painting. I was doing it all the time. And then I stopped. I want to say I stopped maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, probably. And not for any reason in particular, just, I don't know, I guess chalked it up to time, right? I don't know, but I'm really excited to be doing it again. Also, this is like the gajillionth time that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to record myself kind of through my week and share that. We'll see if this even makes it up. Good morning, everybody. I don't know if I've said this. Welcome back to another video. It is March 11th. It's Wednesday, and it's 8:45. And we have had an eventful couple of days. I am working from home today, part of the day, and then I have a meeting that I have to go in person for. But I need to my first meeting is at 9:30. I need to go open up all my things and get that ready, and then try to pick up a little bit. It's mainly my bedroom right now. It just feels chaotic for me. So that is where I am at right now. So let's get that going, shall we? I have felt slightly behind this week. So I need to really, I feel like I need to sit, I need to lock in. I haven't been able to get to a chart review that I should have done, I should have had done already. And I've not even been able to start it. So I think a lot of that also, you know, I have to remind myself that coming down from, I was supposed to leave those hot chocolates in the office. Coming down from a hypomanic episode is always difficult. And this time, I think I've said it felt very different this time around, but not necessarily different and like easier, different as almost harder, because I felt a lot more self-aware, and that made it so that I had like an increased feeling of guilt because I couldn't focus on things that I needed to focus on. You know what I realized is that my husband usually would have set this up for me. And I forgot to ask him to do that. So that's on me. I have another desk over here that, like, you can see it there, that normally I'll just sit there and turn it around. But when nobody's home, I just like to take up the dining room table. So, and I like have chaos with all of these plugs and chargers and stuff for every electronic device. But I just mainly need my monitor right now, my second monitor. Oh my gosh, look guys. So remember I said I finished the Bible in 52 weeks for me, like for women. I found this one, the Bible in 52 weeks for, for families. And I'm so excited because being able to do something with my family is gonna be great. It's going to be great. Is there a picture of the author in this one? Oh, maybe not. Oh, there is. All right. This is by Reverend Dr. Wes Bixby. Cool. Oh, he served in New Hampshire and Wisconsin. Word. So I'm excited to have this because my husband and I have been talking about getting into a study with the kids so that we know we can start having actual discussion. And so, yeah, that was what that was about. All right, let me see if I can make a little bit of a dent before my first meeting. I don't know that I really will. Okay. Me and my hair, we don't last when I do it, like, at all. At all. I love this lunchbox so much. You guys have seen me pack it multiple times, but it's one of the warming ones. Which, when I was a therapeutic mentor, there's a lot of, everything's in the community, right? So I was constantly out working with kids after school, you know, in my car all the time. And this would have been ideal, at that point in time, because I could have plugged it up right in my car. I could have had warm lunches in my car. Ooh, look at this. This is from Amazon, but it's called the water drop. And so this part right here has the filter in it, and there's a little light right here that you click, and when it's blue, it means that the filter is still good. And then it'll start blinking when it's like letting you know that soon it'll have to be changed. And then when it turns red, you have to make sure it's done and switched. I think it's important that I give an update on how I have been getting myself back to a productive, quote unquote, productive place since this last episode. I got a apple fritter from Big Y because I had so many great intentions, right? Of like, this is what I'm doing. I'm on top of this. I'm on top of that. Like you saw it just even in my like February recap. Like I was that recap highlights a lot of kind of what was happening in the pattern or whatnot. And I feel like I was able to actually visually see like, oh man, I could look at, okay, I was not all right. Which is interesting, but regardless, anyway, I think that it's important for me to also talk about the pivoting that has to happen, right? Because a lot I've not been able to complete doing. Like I have not remained consistent with my Bible at all, at all. And that hurts me the most because my time with God is so important to me that knowing I've not been able to stay in it, it's been really hard. That's been really hard. Let me just turn you this way. Okay. And what sucks is that I know, right? I know that I'm fully aware. I fully recognize how much better I feel when I'm consistently in it. And I'm human. Do you know what I mean? This is what I talk about when I'm saying obedience and the reality that God understands that we are going to have our challenges. But like if we fall down, we submit, we pray, we start again, we repent, whatever it is that we have to do, we do it. And we pick back up. And what on earth is all of that? And that is where I find myself now, is trying to figure out how to start picking back up that's where I find myself now, is trying to figure out how to pick back up without feeling guilty that I fell off to begin with, right? And that's so hard because feelings of guilt can really quickly, I think, turn into resentment and feel like, you know what? This is impossible anyway, and I don't even know why I try, and I'm just gonna give up. And I mean, I'm not doing any of that. Like, I'm not gonna give up, but there's this constant battle. This is my son's room. Oh, Javi. Oh, there's literally clothes everywhere. This kid. I'm picking myself back up. I'm trying, and with the supports that I have, I'm just walking all over the place. The supports that I have in place have been wonderful to be able to kind of build that accountability. But grace, I got to give myself grace around what I can accomplish, what I can realistically do, what feels attainable. And then I have to also, and be proud of the things I can do, right? And then give myself grace over things that I haven't been able to do. Like my room, I've been able to do a little bit each time, but things just very quickly get so disorganized. And I cannot function in that kind of environment. It contributes to just my overall mental health, and I start to shut down even more. And My husband is great. Like he gets it. He knows what's up. He knows the struggles, and he does what he can. But like I said, today, everyone is pretty much out except for me right now. And I need to also, I have like, responsibilities. I have a job. I have things that I got to get going there. So there's this constant battle of what can I do? What can I take care of? What feels like a 5-minute dopamine hit right now that's actually good for me and not gonna cause me more strife. I'm just looking at all of my meds. Are you the iron? Or are you the calcium? Okay, this is the calcium. Iron can die. Vitamin D. All right. Sorry, like I was saying, my inhaler. I need to feel like I am, when they say like, okay, make your bed every day, this is Evelyn's. Do something that's like a task that you're able to kind of see through and complete and everything. That is where I am right now. It's like, what are the little things that I know I can do quickly? What did I just say was Evelyn's? Her inhaler. Yeah, what are the things that I know that I can do quickly as I'm chaotically running around the house? Hold on. Oh, Stephanie. Okay. What are the things that I know I can do quickly that will give me enough of a satisfaction to feel like I am in a little bit of a better place to move forward with my day? Right? And that is as simple for me as, where are all the things that are not in their place currently that you can speed run through the house and get them in their place? How can I make myself feel a little bit better? And well, that comes down to my environment. It always has. I'm definitely someone that if my environment is not what it should be, it will haunt me. I will get very, very irritable, and I'll project that onto my family. And I'm not going to do that because it's not their fault, right? Like, they do their part in the house the best way that they can. And am I one of those people that's like, oh, okay, well, you did that your way, not my way? Yes. So they do their part and they help. My daughter is like the first one to really catch my shifts in my moods. And so she will immediately do her best to start taking initiative on certain things, which is adorable. My son does really well with direction. So as soon as I ask, there's never like a fight. If there's anything that I need, like he'll just do it. And my husband, very similar to my son, but also can obviously recognize when things just need to happen. I think, and I'm sure many of you can relate, that the hard part is when you need to ask, right? And that, I find myself struggling with that a lot of the time. What on earth? Oh, that's my leg pillow. Pause. Okay. Keep going. Yeah, so like, having to say, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? Because half the time I don't really necessarily know what it is that I exactly need or want. I just know that the environment is affecting me. And I don't have the capacity to give direction on what exactly needs to get done first, because in my head, everything needs to happen at once. These blankets are so uneven, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We actually have them be longer on this side too because on that side, like, it'll get tugged. But my husband is a blanket thief, so he also pulls it more and more every single day. So I'm excited to get new bedding, right? Because I laugh because we thought it'd be a great idea when we had bought our sheets and everything to buy bed sheets that are the same color. And that's fine and dandy, but I just feel like sometimes we'll switch it out and everything, and then we come back and I'm like, this looks like exactly the same. Though it's cleaned, it just gives the vibe that it's been the same exact one forever. So I'm like, I wanted a different color. So the ones that I got are orange. Hopefully tie in my little chair over here. I have laundry. And also, the stuff that's piled up is stuff that is remaining from, again, getting myself back on track. That unfolded. Back on track from my episode. I thought something fell. Yes, okay. Ow. And it's been worse. You know what I mean? It feels extreme to me, but this is nothing compared to other times where it has been like the house has felt tore up, and there's been a lot more struggle within communication about who can do what and why haven't you tried, and you know what I mean? Like we've come such a long way with all of that. So, and that's also a reason why I say this felt different this time. Okay. Whew. Time to get into work. Work mode. Work mode. Work mode. Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. But I did it. I really do. I feel so much better. So much better. Are you not on? You are now. With having done all that. Oh, install updates. No restart required. Cool. Now, what's fun about our job is that, wait a minute, did you not, hello? Second monitor? Why aren't you on? Oh, well, because Stephanie, you should probably plug it up, you fool. We have been brutally beaten by snow. Oh, I look crazy, y'all. Hello? Computer? What's happening? Oh. you good if I?
Yeah.
I'm here to let you know your heat gun is broken. Shorty is not dead.
No, any of that, I made that up. Just investment for this account.
That cost me $20,000. I reached out to him, to let him know it's okay to begin. Yeah. Right after one of the stranger golf lessons of my life. Turns out what he is a lousy gambler. And now I'm the one on the hook for it.
I'm so sorry.
And why are you smiling?
I'm proud of you, Dad. You're growing.
Just stop it. Please. Don't you see how hard this is for me? Stay gorgeous.
Oh my God.
Yeah, those will work. You can wear them tonight. I have a surprise.
Don't tell me you're finally taking me salsa dancing. Is Daddy Brennan?
Only a Vegas legend.
Is he a magician? Because I love magicians.
He's a comedian.
Comedian. Valentine's Day. I thought we were going salsa dancing, not to watch a comedian.
You're gonna love him. Trust me.
Okay. As I was saying, it is the 18th. And I have, excuse me, I have to finish getting ready because I have a training. Give me my hair. I have a training at 8 that I need to get to. It's not far from here, which is great. But I did not sleep well at all. So I am definitely struggling with Evelyn having been sick, and last night I kept on waking up. You know when you're hyper aware that you have something the next day, so you are like, you just can't sleep because you keep waking up thinking that you're either going to miss something or your alarm's not going to go off, whatever. Ooh, coffee. It just beeped if you didn't hear it. It's not my, anyway. So I kept on waking up thinking that I was going to miss my alarm and that I was not going to get to my training. And this is a 3-day training that I have to do for work. So I have to get through it. I'm struggling with the fact that I have these next 3 days of training while Evelyn is still recovering from being sick. But I have my husband and my mom helping. So I'm just giving myself room to breathe around it all. But yeah, I have to make sure I'm out the door by, I want to say like 7:30, 7:25, even though it's not far, like it's really not far, because I don't know exactly where I'm going to be. The idea of getting lost feels very real right now. And I would just rather get there with enough time rather than be running in. So, but I am tired. And on top of that, like, I just kept on waking up because last night Evelyn slept with my mom downstairs. Usually when she's sick, she'll stay with me up here. There's a big reason with that because of what we experienced when she was in the hospital. So when Evelyn had first gotten sick, when she was 2, the night that she destatted, it happened in her sleep. Sorry, hold on. Ugh. Sometimes brushing your hair is like wearing pants when you don't want to. Anyway, so she was asleep, and the hospital that we were at is about an hour from here, and my husband was traveling back and forth. You know, he was still working. I was the one that was there. straight through. I mean, he was there too, but he was making sure that he was still working, taking care of the house and everything. And I stayed at the hospital, and he would just commute back and forth pretty much every day. And then this one night, I'll never forget, it was December 21st, 2016. And he came up, and he intended to leave again that night. So he came up to check on us. He was going to leave. And then I just asked him if he could stay. It had been a really rough day for Evelyn. She was struggling a lot, really emotional. She kept on saying, she was 2, but she kept on saying like her head hurt. This was a lot. So she was in the pediatric ICU, and she was sleeping. I would sleep in the bed with her, and my husband would sleep on the little couch next to the bed. So he was on my right hand side, the door was on the left, and then I was holding Evelyn like this, and she was hooked up onto the heart monitor, all these things. The nurse comes in the middle of the night, Kylie, and she's pregnant, and she says, "Can you wake her up because her stats are dropping?" Tried to wake her up. She did not wake up. And I just remember reaching over and slapping my husband awake and screaming at him, "She's not waking up. Like, she's not waking up." He jumped up. My husband we both worked in the hospital, but we worked in 2 different departments, and he worked in the heart and vascular OR. And so the amount of lives that man has saved, insane. So he was a perfusionist assistant in heart surgeries, and he was always one of the folks that would often get called in for CPR because of how hard his compressions were. So he jumps into action immediately and like moves me out of the way. They're struggling to drop her bed to start CPR. So he did it. And at that point, it's an out-of-body experience for me. Like, I can't recall a lot from that moment on. But she ended up in a medically induced coma. And so as a result, the PTSD that I carry, and my husband, but like very different responses to it, is when she's sick, like she has to be with me. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional talking about it. When she gets sick, she has to be with me because I'm afraid. So I have this training, and I didn't want her to have to wake up so early because I knew she wasn't going to be in school. So, and this is where my mom, and like, it takes a village, guys. It really does take a village. So my mom lives downstairs, and my husband is on spring break, like I said, so his morning is a little bit more open. He just wanted to take our son to school. So she slept with my mom so she can have an ease into her morning, and then she'll end up coming up here and she'll be with my husband. Yeah, so it's hard for me to have to leave. We were talking about this and talking about the fact that before, when we were going through this before, it was him that was like commuting back and forth and still having to work and do all the things. And now our lives have transformed so much that he has more flexibility than I do right now to be able to kind of drop the things. Not that I can't if I don't have to, not that I can't if I have to, I can. But right now, he just has had to take on more of that, which mirrors so much because at the time that all this was happening, I was also in grad school for my master's in social work, working full time, and going through what we were going through. And now he's the one that's in his BSW program, working full time and taking the lead here. So it's been a lot. Sorry, it's like early. Let me get my coffee and make my bed. So let's chat in my crooked dining room. Let me fix you. All right. Okay, so my husband will be home soon. I'm going to be heading out But I think that I've gone back and forth a little bit on I need to sit down and set intentions and really kind of talk about what's happening. Right now, I am putting out my monthly recaps. I'm putting out a kind of podcast style-ish, just talk video, and I want to then add like a weekly, like a video that is collective with not the B-roll voiceover, but actual like checking in day to day, like some days in my life type of thing. And in that, talk about how we're progressing with our goals. This and the barriers that we're having. This last month has been really difficult. I can tell you right now that I feel incredibly convicted because I've not been able to be at my word. And that's a big part of my stability. So it's been like 2.5, almost 3 weeks. I'm in my Bible on Sunday and, doing my study here and everything, but like every single morning, that's really important to me. But since coming down from my manic episode or my hypomanic episode, getting back into the routine has just been such a challenge right now. Waking up on time, because I prefer to wake up at between 4:30 and 5 to be able to have that time to myself. That's not happened. And then with our daughter getting sick, and it's just been like kind of one thing after the other. So I've struggled with my routine significantly. On top of that, we've struggled to maintain our schedule with cooking. And so these are the things, right, that why it is so important when you really implement habits and you really do things to reduce the friction between what you want to do and your goal, right? So with Evelyn, every Sunday would sit down and write down everything that we're going to cook for the week on our fridge. And she also has another book that my friend got her to be able to track that. And we've not, she's been sick. So it hasn't happened. And she really likes taking on that responsibility. She loves also grocery shopping. So these are all the things that it's, when you talk about healing openly, it's not just the pretty stuff. So I think it's really important for me to have like these days in my life, like a soap opera style video, like collective video, to really share not just the beauty of something, poetically, but the reality of it. On the contrary, working towards financial freedom, we have paid down almost $3,000 in debt, which is huge. There's still about $20,000. And that's real. That's life. You know what I mean? So we are currently entering the snowball method and also looking into options to be able to do the avalanche method as well. I have made my account for accepting new clients for individual therapy, which is huge, to be adding something secondary like that. But, when you have goals and you have purpose on your heart for things that God is calling you to do, they say you work your 9 to 5, then you work your 5 to 9, right? So I set those things up, and I'm currently looking to pick up 8 clients at least. So all while doing real life. And I keep telling myself I need to sit down and film like intentionally and all of that to really talk about what's happening. And this is like, at the end of the day, this is what's real. This is what's real. I can't make everything aesthetic. I can't make it like, I can't get stuck on the aesthetic of something in order to tell the truth. Right. So I'm just going to use this and hopefully it makes sense. What I also am struggling with is I don't introduce myself every single time I come on here and I'm going to make a new video or anything like that. So, it's so interesting trying to figure out what's the right formula or what should be included in every single video, or like, I don't know, which I'm still figuring out. I had one video that reached 179 views. That was incredible. It happened really quickly. And then all the other ones are sitting at like between 5 to 12 views, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm still getting the hang of things, so yeah. Yeah. My stuff is packed up for work. I need to make sure I take my glasses so I can see. 7:13. I'm tired. I am tired. Good morning, guys. It is a new day. Many days later. I don't even remember when I last recorded. I think it may have been Wednesday. Today's Friday. I don't know. I'm exhausted. Today is the last day of the training that I have at work. I'll show you those stickers. And thank God. Thank God. I don't know if it was Wednesday. I have felt so consumed by having this training. I mean, it's been fine. You know, it's a let's be great leaders type of training thing for supervisors and managers. Give me a second. Usually my husband would have made the coffee before he left, but he didn't. Yeah, so it's a training on supervising and, like, you know, being a good leader. And it's been cool. I mean, yeah, nothing really to add there. But yesterday, in addition to that, I also had, so the training is for my 9 to 5, but I had a workshop yesterday, a small one for a local business, and it was a journaling workshop. And it was one of the first things that I've done for Beneath the Healing in a long time. I definitely have retreated in the last year. I think I talked about that a little bit, more so just to take time to recalibrate. Scissors. So, taking time to recalibrate, taking time to really make sure that the things that I was saying yes to were from God. And what's interesting about this workshop that I did is, well, it's not even just this one workshop. I find that all of the experiences that I've been able to say yes to, that have been blessings, have found me intentionally. I think one thing where I've always struggled to some extent is marketing myself, right? So I really don't. I don't do too much of that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what's meant for me will find me. Not to say you shouldn't be putting yourself out there. I do. But in regards to overly marketing myself and all that, I don't. So when this opportunity came along, it just felt so much like God affirming the direction that I'm heading, and the fact that I missed so much of the community stuff that I do or that I've done, and really wanting to get back into it. I've also opened up to take individual clients in Massachusetts for therapy through telehealth services, which is huge for me because I wasn't sure that would be something I'd be doing. So yeah, I definitely I went through that yesterday and was very grateful for the opportunity. I'm looking for my daughter's backpack because I have to pack her lunch. Very grateful to have had the opportunity to do that yesterday. The participants were wonderful, and it felt so easy. to just be back into the swing of things. So I had that workshop, like I was saying, and it just felt nice to be back in the swing, especially after feeling like I've just been out of the cycle for a while. It felt nice to be like, okay, I can still do this. At one point, I was really concerned because I'm like, man, everybody's crying. But someone had said that it felt very cathartic, and they let me know that they were really appreciative of the experience and that there were some things that they were taking away to continue doing with their family. And that gave me my why, you know? That gave me my why. But I will say I am struggling today. I deal with a lot of headaches, and my gosh, today is definitely, it's there. It's there. My daughter also asked me to pack some popcorn for her. Oh, Lord. So she had a fundraiser, and because we are the people that we are, well, I can't even, well, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna take some blame. She got super competitive. Look at all this, yeah. She got super competitive and wanted to make sure that she did her absolute best to fundraise the most. That happened. That happened. And now we have 28 bags of popcorn from Go Good. No, Double Good. Yeah. So that's fun. So she's like, Mom, can you add into my lunchbox any popcorn that's not spicy? So we're gonna go with white cheddar go-getter. No, I know she really likes the kettle corn. I just don't know if the kettle corn is open. So I am so relieved that today is the last day of that training, because let me tell you, I feel like everything else at work has taken a back seat. Which, you know, when you have things like this, that's normal. That makes sense. When you're in leadership of any capacity, though, it can feel like you're failing by not being there for your staff. Granted, they have our PD, they have other supervisors and all of that, but I don't know. I miss my people. I miss my people. I want to make sure my people's is all right. I know that our PD got their back too, so I don't have anything to be worried about at all. I just like to make sure I feel like I'm doing my part, and I guess theoretically I'm doing my part by being here in these trainings. But yeah. However, I will say there's going to be a lot of ish that I'm going to have to get caught up on come Monday. But I'm giving myself grace around that. Like, I normally would have been like, oh no, I have to do this 8 to 4 and then, you know, do 4 to 10 to make sure I'm looking at all my stuff, checking my emails, doing all the things, and exhaust myself doing it. And I'm not doing that this time. You know, I am very much staying in this is what I did today. This is what I'm doing today. And then I will be shiny and new by the grace of God Monday. God willing. God willing. What time is it? Should really be getting ready to head out. I have to find her lunchbox. I still don't know where the heck that is. The other thing I will say, my house feels so disorganized, and it isn't. It isn't. I mean, is it a little bit more cluttered than I would like? Yeah. Is that a problem? For me. But it's not a problem per se. You know? Yes, make sure he gives her antibiotics. It's of me and being a control freak, and why does the house not look like the way that I want it to look? And it's not even that bad. I have lost the battle to pet hair and white floors. Whatever. But everything is not that bad. I'm just a control freak. At least when it comes to my environment. Let's see if I find this lunchbox.